Moving to Columbia, South Carolina can be one of the best decisions you've ever made. But did you choose the right area of Columbia, South Carolina? You have your reasons, you know you're ready to go. Which area, which suburb of Columbia are you going to move to? Here's the truth. I've seen too many people move here and realize later on that they picked the wrong neighborhood for the wrong lifestyle. Well, in this video, I'm actually going to be breaking down the biggest mistakes people can make when they move to Columbia. And stick around to the end, because I'm actually going to share something that most people don't even think about when they're moving here. And it's the wildlife. Most people move here for the outdoors. There may be some stuff that you want to stay away from, maybe some stuff you want to be closer to. You're going to want to hear this one. Now, I'm Chad Dorman, your local realtor here in Columbia and the Midlands of Columbia. I help families all over the country buy, sell, and relocate right here. So make sure, please, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. And if you're thinking about moving here, go ahead and schedule a Zoom call with me. Or text me anytime. I am the one that replies. Unlike a couple I talked to today, I somehow missed their call totally on this past Saturday. And it's Tuesday that I'm getting back with them. I'm sure they will be watching this video, and I apologize again ahead of time. That is not who I am. Usually I get back really quick. So shoot me that text. Go on and share this with somebody you think that might need it, that's coming through here as well. Now, many of these things, we're going to talk about number one, traffic. Underestimating or overestimating the rush hour traffic. Seems like this comes up every single time in my videos because so many people ask me about it. And it shouldn't. Yes, we have rush hour traffic. But it's not Atlanta traffic, Charlotte traffic. It is not as big a deal. I think people overestimate it a lot of times. Even during rush hour traffic, I don't mind sitting on the interstate for a little bit, but it's not the gridlock traffic that a lot of people actually sit in all the time. A lot of times the traffic that is here is between I-26, I-20, and it can add 20, 30 minutes to a commute. It still moves slowly where you're going a lot of times, even with all the new stuff like Scout Motors coming in, a lot of the new things that are coming to downtown and all too, unless there's a wreck. If there's a wreck in any kind of traffic, it's going to slow it down because you've got to get around that traffic and they block off lanes. That type of traffic I understand. But people, a lot of times, they'll buy in a quiet neighborhood and then realize the commute downtown is a lot further than what they thought it was. So ask me those questions. One tip I can tell you is drive your route. If you're here looking, goodness knows, I can tell you to wait till 5 o'clock traffic or go at 7:30, 8 in the morning. Drive that route and see how long it takes you. If you're spending $400,000 or $500,000 on a house, it's worth driving it to see if it is, and do it during that busy time. One thing I may start doing for a lot of my clients is, like, I'm going to Blythewood tonight to show a house. And coming back around 6:37, I'll time myself on I-20, see how long it takes me to get back to Irmo. Give me a call if you want to know the answer. I'll do it tonight. Number two, ignoring HOAs. 25% of the homes that are closing for buyers right now are new builds. I do not know of a new build yet that does not have a HOA. So if you're looking along those lines, make sure and check out the HOAs, what they include, what you can do. They're full of them. Every suburb has HOAs. Now, there are a bunch that are not too, and those we can survey for you when we get in touch with you. Buyers, a lot of times, they'll get blindsided by fees, restrictions, parking, such as parking, fences, paint colors, even where you park your boat. I cannot tell you somebody that has a boat or a mobile home, they got into it, then they realize they can't park where the HOA is. They can't park in their own driveway because the HOA says they can't. And they end up having to find a place to store it that's close by the house, which there's plenty of those, but you're paying more just for the storage. If I'm going to store my boat somewhere, I want it to be at the lake in dry storage where I can go anytime I want. You don't want to ignore the HOA rules because they can cost you money and headaches in advance. Let me tell you, HOA can put a mechanics lien on your home. I had to explain this to a client recently. He's moving up here from Florida, I'm going to take the time just to tell you guys about this. They were doing, when you put a contract on a house, they do a title search. And 9 times out of 10, they put that title search right when you put the contract on. Because if they find something wrong with the title, it may take the entirety of that 30 to 45 days when you're doing the loan to do it. So you usually start that out right away. If you really are not sure until you do inspections that you are going to be in the house, yeah, I can delay the title search, but it may delay your closing too. And I know that's the last thing you want to do. One of my clients, they bought a brand new home. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. They did not realize that they had to pay the HOA every year. The college guy, he's not checking his mail all the time, etc. We went to sell the house 3 years later. They had a mechanic's lien. We've been turned over 2 collections. The buyer's title search is what found that the HOA had put a mechanic's lien on the house. Thank goodness he was the seller. They took care of it. It was paid out of closing and all was good. But that's why you do a title search. That's why you have title insurance in case something is not caught like that. Because once you close and once it goes to that portion of it, to where you close, it's in your name then. Doesn't matter if somebody else, it's because of somebody else that had a lien on it. That lien is now yours. That's the importance of checking your HOAs, doing title searches, things like that. Now, this one I'm not going to touch on too much, other than give you a couple reasons. Research your schools. Even if you don't have kids, school districts do drive property values up in Columbia. The most popular ones that we have here are Lexington Richland 5, Lexington 1, Blythewood schools, things like that. If you're in those neighborhoods, they can hold the value of your house when you're doing it. Make sure, as always, look at the individual schools too. Pull it up, search it online. I can tell you, I don't know about every school here, but call the schools. Research the individual schools too. Just because it's a great district does not mean it's the best school. Just because it's not a great district doesn't mean it's got one of the best schools that you can go to. And again, remember, there are plenty of private schools out here too that a lot of people actually love. Schools equal long-term investment protection. You can grab a good deal in a weaker school zone, but realize that the resale value can suffer later. Not that it does, because we have a very great market here in Columbia, none like anywhere else in the United States. Whereas a lot of places are in buyer's markets, we're still a seller's market by a good bit. You don't get to a buyer's market until you're over 6 months worth of inventory. Our prices are still going up. From what we did last year to this year, we are still doing just as many sales, and we are up year over year in many, many metrics of houses right now, especially in pending houses and new builds. I can show you the school zones and everything. If we get on a Zoom call, we can actually go in, I can share my screen with you, and I can show you a lot of those areas like that as well. And it's that lifestyle, number 4, that lifestyle, what you're really going in for. You've got from Lake Murray boating to Vista nightlife, quiet suburbs, young families in yards. Everybody knows everybody in the same neighborhood. Again, you have to go out and do your part in that. But Columbia is very diverse when it comes to that outdoor lifestyle and what you can do. And all of those are increasing with everything that is coming. New things coming to South Carolina, especially when it comes to the trails, the rivers, the lakes. There's a lot that is coming here, and it is like any place, it is gradually adding stuff, and they are doing incredible stuff for lifestyle. One of the main reasons they are is because everybody is moving here. By percentage of population that has its increasing, South Carolina has been number 1 like the last 2 out of 3 years in the entire nation. Buyers tend to fall in love with a house, but they hate the lifestyle. Too far from restaurants, it might be too noisy, it might be too quiet. An example, Chapin versus 5 Points. 5 Points, if you're down in Shandon area, it's a whole different lifestyle down there. That's part of college town. Whereas Chapin, it's a little more quiet. You've got the lake, you're further away from everything, but you're also further away from things like hospitals. We have a lot of retirees that are coming to South Carolina also. If you're looking for a hospital, Chapin might not be. They have an urgent care in downtown Chapin. That's about it. You need to ask yourself, do you want lake days, nightlife? Do you want acreage? Do you want walkability? Do you want an HOA? Do you not want an HOA? These are the things I help people figure this out every single day. Now, I told you to hang around to the end. This is what you call the wildlife factor. More people just do not think about it. And there are a lot of things that people don't factor. For example, some of the biggest questions I have, there's no bears in Columbia, right? There are bears here in Columbia. Nobody ever sees them because they're just not. Go back to my outdoor life video. We talk about all of that. Matter of fact, even to tell you this whole thing about wildlife, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, but it's the things that people don't think about a lot of time. We have deer, coyote, snakes, wild turkey, coons. We have a huge quail population where a lot of people go do quail hunting, duck hunting. There's so much. But the couple common questions I get is one about that bear. Now, if you go to the upstate, you're probably gonna, I've seen some more bears running the trails in the upstate, but every time I ever see them, they're running away from me. They want nothing to do with people. We have never had a bear killing here in the state of South Carolina. Now, things are ramping up toward Tennessee and North Carolina and different places. From what I've understood, they tend to be acting a little different, but we have never had a bear killing here in South Carolina. Are there bears? There's plenty, especially in the upstate. Now, the next one I get is gators. Are there gators in Lake Murray? Most likely not. I'm not saying there might not be one somewhere. Nothing's 100%. That is the joy of Lake Murray, is that you can get in, swim, have a blast. Lake Murray is built around the boating industry and getting in, swimming, Sandy Beach, Baum Island, a lot of these places. I've got a lake video that I'm gonna put up soon that will actually be me in a boat going all over the lake when it comes to, especially with tubing down the river and stuff. The Saluda is too cold. Gators are not gonna be in there. Most likely snakes are not gonna be in there. You don't have to worry about them when it comes to the Saluda River, but the Saluda joins the Broad and forms the Congaree. The Broad and the Congaree and all the way down to Charleston can have gators because that is warmer water. Be careful because there's more bacteria in that water as well. There's little things you've got to look at when you're looking at a lot of the rivers. If you're doing trout fishing, it's going to be in the Saluda. It's not going to be anywhere else. Other common question I get, snakes. Yes, there are snakes everywhere. The biggest reason you step on a snake anywhere, because that snake didn't see you, you didn't see it. Most of the time, it feels your vibrations and it is running away before you ever get there. I have run for years in Harbison State Forest, and I have never come across one that wasn't trying to get away from me. Now, in the entire time, the last 10 to 15 years that I've been running in Harbison State Forest, which has got a bunch of different trails, I have maybe seen 7, 8 snakes. Make sure you don't have to worry about that near as much. It sounds charming as far as all the wildlife, but it can mean landscape damage if you're looking at acreage. There's safety issues for pets. When I first got those Boston Terriers, when they were puppies, I made sure I did not let them go out in my backyard by themselves. We have owls, we have hawks, we have, different birds like that would sweep down and just snatch them up and they're gone. So little things like that you've got to watch out for. The other big thing, and last of all with the wildlife that I'm going to go over today, I get asked about mosquitoes during the heat that we have. I'm one of those people personally that just do not get bit by a lot of mosquitoes. Some people, whether it's blood type, whatever it might be, if they're even near a retaining pond in a new build place, they do not want to be near it because there may be more mosquitoes near the water. And that does make sense. They've never bothered me for as long as I've been here in South Carolina. Do they get bad during the heat of the summer, at night, different things like that? Yes, they can. They've never bothered me. But if you're more prone to mosquitoes, make sure you're wearing something. We do have even companies that come out and spray yards and stuff for mosquitoes like that. Now, if this is, again, the kind of insider tips that you need, make sure go and subscribe to my channel. That way I can help more people and answer more questions, answer more comments, and check things out like that. In conclusion, here's the bottom line. You've already decided pretty much you're moving to Columbia, and it's a great decision, only if you choose the right area. I just got off the phone recently with some guys that are moving here from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he is moving here for Scout Motors. You've heard me talk a lot about that. Now, even moving here from Scout Motors, they think Lexington may be their better place to move. And I can't disagree with them. Do you mind a 30-minute drive to work every day? I personally would not. That's why you want to make sure you choose that right area. And it's why many times people call me and we'll change up their searches. So don't make these common mistakes. Don't underestimate or overestimate the traffic. I can help you with that. Don't ignore the HOAs. It can have a lasting effect on your house, from mechanics lien all the way to just being that neighbor that never adheres to the HOA. Don't skip the school research. We've talked about this many times. Do not skip it. Call, do the research on the specific school, not just the district. Don't forget about your lifestyle fit. People move here for that slowed down lifestyle. They move here to go skiing and fishing and deer hunting and coon hunting and bass fishing, tournaments that are out in Lake Murray. They move here just to go tubing, just to go hiking. And they move here because it's centrally located and you can like that outdoor lifestyle, but don't forget about that lifestyle and where you're living in relation to that. And yes, do not overlook the wildlife. Make sure you don't just buy a house, you buy the right home in the right area. Now, text me anytime. I answer directly. Schedule a Zoom call with me. We'll set it up. I will not miss that. Again, I'm Chad Dorman. I am the Columbia Realtor. I'm always available. I'm always honest, and I'm always here to help. See you in the next video.